Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about why red pill is absolute nonsense most of the time. Most of the time. I will go into at the end of the video one of the things that I think is really good about red pill, okay? And the whole red pill community, okay? But I'm going to go into the reasons why I personally don't really like red pill and the things that I have personally seen when I've read people who are into the red pill community online, the things they talk about, the things that they talk about with each other, and why I don't think it's a great route for a lot of men to go down. Okay, so the first thing that I want to get into is red pill usually never results in what these men actually genuinely want. They want, and which is usually a happy relationship with a woman, a relationship that they is fulfilling for them, right? Because a lot of guys go into the red pill sort of thing where they've been burnt by a woman when things haven't gone right. And so ultimately what their real desire is to actually be with a woman, even if it wasn't to begin with. They, it could have been that they got burnt and then they never wanted to be with a woman again. But usually, if you really go to the core of these men, they still want to be with a woman. They really wish that reality was different than what it is. And they really wish that life was more blue pill, right? But obviously, ultimately, it's not, right, what they want. So, unfortunately, a lot of men go into this community, but what they're really wanting is they want that happy relationship with a woman. But unfortunately, red pill teaches a lot of men, because I've witnessed this online with guys talking about these things. They're very bitter, they're very resentful, right? So, and because they feel bitter towards women, they're not going to be able to get these healthy, happy relationships, okay? Because they feel bitter towards women, okay? So red pill never results in going down the red pill route and really diving deep into that community is never going to get you what you really want, which is a happy relationship with a woman, okay? So another thing that I don't really like about red pill is that there seems to be this mentality that every man needs to know about this red pill. Every man needs to know about the reality of women and things like that. But they always, it seems as well, they seem to tar women with the same brush as well. But what I've seen is that there are men in the world, and this is one of the things that it doesn't seem like the red pill community understands. There are men in the world that are in happy relationships. And even if there's only one man in this whole world who's in a truly happy relationship with a woman, that still means that it's possible, right, for these guys too, who are in the red pill, right? If other men are happy in their relationships and have a good relationship with a woman, then that means that exists. That kind of thing is available to every man if they're looking for it in the right way and if they're going down the right route to find the right kind of woman for them. Okay, so if there are other guys in happy relationships, then red pill can't always be true. Okay, so another thing that I want to discuss is what it seems, and from what I've read and from what I've seen, is that red pill guys expect their women to be like their mother, right? And then they wonder why she no longer wants to have sex with them or no longer wants to be in a relationship with them. Or the women go and meet someone else and go and find a different guy. Okay? It's because a lot of these guys have been brought up by a lovely woman sometimes. Not all the time, but they've been brought up by their mother. Their mother did absolutely everything for them. Right, and this is where I think some mums could do better service for their sons. Don't do everything for your son. Let him learn how to look after himself. Because when he goes into a relationship and he's expecting the woman to treat him like her son, of course she's not going to want to be romantic with him. Because if she's treating him and he's making her treat him like another child, right, then she's not going to be attracted to you. Because if you're making her act like a mother towards you and picking up after you, doing everything for you, then she's going to see you as another one of her children, right? So then she may not even consciously know what's going on, but she'll feel not attracted to you and more nurturing towards you rather than attraction, rather than, wanting a partner and a spouse. She'll see you more as a child because she's having to look after you like a child, okay? And you can't expect the women in the world, your wife to treat you like, to treat you like her son, right? And want to sleep with you. You can see the weird dynamic there, right? So it's really important that guys, at least know how to do some things for themselves. Because, there's some women who will be absolutely happy to do your laundry, cook you meals and things like that. But not for everything, okay? You need to find a very, very nurturing woman who's going to be able to do that and still want to sleep with you, okay? You have to have at least do a few things for yourself. But the red pill guys don't like that. The red pill guys wants their woman to just put up with their bullshit, basically, and to treat them like their little boy and still want to have sex with them. And if you just think about it in those terms, you just know why women don't want to sleep with their husbands anymore if they're treating her like that. Why would she want to be intimate with you if she's treating you like a son? It's just like, it's gross, right? They that's why they eventually leave their husbands, because they're like, I don't feel attraction for him anymore. I'm having to look after him like a child, and I'm having to put on this motherly role for him, and it's putting me off. She may not even be, like I said, she might not even be consciously aware of it. She may just feel like her stomach is turning all the time when she's around him, and therefore doesn't want to sleep with him. So another thing about the red pill is that, but what a lot of these red pill guys don't understand as well is that women love men who love women. So if you've got this bitterness towards women and you've got this bitter attitude towards women, you're not going to find a woman's going to know, like a woman's going to be able to tell if you've got that pump and dump mentality or if you've got this underlying hate towards women. She's going to be able to sense it. She's going to be able to sense it in that sort of like the micro behaviors that you've got, the things, that the way that you're treating her, the way that you're treating other women. She'll be able to pick up on little things. Even if you're trying to hide your resentment towards women, she's going to be able to feel it on some level. She's going to be able to tell, because a lot of women have really good emotional intelligence, and they're really good at reading body language because it's like a survival instinct, right? So if you don't treat women very well and you don't like women really that much, she's going to be able to sense these little things. Like, it could be in the tone of your voice, it could be in the little snarky comments that you make, it could be in your body language and how you turn your nose up or at women or something like that. They're going to know. Like, a woman who is going to be happy with a guy wants to be with a guy who loves women. And what do I mean by loves women? Right, there's a guy that can happily, just be with a group of women. He's with his guy friends as well. He doesn't have to. I'm not talking about a guy that just sits with groups of women, but he can appreciate the beauty of women. And their personalities, and he find the guy that loves women finds women really fascinating, right, and interesting, and just likes to be around women and doesn't mind them, right, and doesn't think that they're second-class citizens and horrible creatures, okay. Because like I said, in the other point that I made, women can tell if you do not like them underlyingly, okay? And if you've got pump and dump mentality and those kinds of things, okay? So another thing that I want to talk about as well is usually men who are obsessed with red pill, and this is what I've seen in forums, people talking on Twitter, other comments as well that I've seen just over on the internet about the red pill thing, is that men who are obsessed with red pill are usually deeply, deeply unhappy, okay? Because if they were happy, then why are they whining on the internet all day and being bitchy towards women? Like, have you got nothing better to do with your life? Because it takes a really miserable person to go online and start commenting really horrible things about women and chatting to other guys about how much the women have screwed them over, right? It makes them deeply miserable, right? So not only is red pill a bad sort of mentality to have towards women, but it's bad for the guys involved because it's just making them miserable. It's just making them so sad, right? Because they just have all this hate inside of them, and it's just no good. So with all that being said, where does red pill actually come in there, where it actually can be quite useful to men? Because sometimes it is. But it's only if you sort of graze the surface and you don't go too deep into the community. Because if you go too deep into the red pill community, they're just a bunch of miserable bastards, basically. Okay? But, excuse me. But if you scratch the surface of red pill, basically what red pill says is that women are not like how they are. Things that are going to attract a woman are not the same things that you see in TV and movies. And basically the things that you've been fed as a child and as an adolescent, right? The reality of a female attraction and what makes a woman attracted to a man is a lot different than that, right? There was a study done, I don't know if it was like Psychology Today, but there was some paper that was made, and basically the paper was called Women Are More Attracted to Men Whose Feelings Are Unclear, right? So basically what that means is that women like it better if there's a little bit of mystery to begin with when you're dating and courting them, rather than being overly romantic with them. Like, because, you see guys, they're like, oh yeah, if I want to get a woman to like me, I've got to buy her flowers, I'll buy her a box of chocolates, and maybe that'll bribe her into being my girlfriend, or I'll write her a long love letter because I've seen how romantic that kind of thing can be. But it's not. It's not romantic towards women. It may seem romantic in the movies and in TV, but it's not. What they prefer is actually to have to chase you a bit more, right? So what you do when you start dating a woman is you extend the invitation, but that's all you do. And what I mean by that is that you ask her out on a date, right? Without elaborating about how you feel about her or anything like that. You simply just ask her out on a date. Say, hey, look, I think you're really great. When are you available to hang out? I'd love to get to know you better. And then you do that a couple of times with her, and you only extend the offer of the date. And you don't reveal how you feel about her to begin with, right? You give her space, you give her time to think about you, to wonder about you, right? Instead of going from 0 to 100 straight away and being like, hey, look, I'm in love with you, I want to be in a relationship with you. Oh, I really, really, really like you. If you're asking a woman out on a date, she knows that you like her because you asked her out on a date. You don't need to elaborate how you feel to a woman. It's always better to begin with to be a little bit more mysterious, so you just date her once a week, and then eventually she'll start reaching out to you more, messaging you more, and then that's when you know she's falling in love, and that's when you know you can start probably revealing some of your feelings towards her, or just simply seeing each other more, because you can do what Corey Wayne says, which he says that when a woman reaches out to you, assume that she wants to see you, right? But red pill ultimately is very good to know that, and it helps men realize that wining and dining a woman or buying her gifts or writing love letters to her is going to make her attracted to you. It's not, because no amount of you being interested in her is going to make her interested in you, right? Because there's also like this lie that you sometimes see in movies that you can make a woman, you can convince a woman to like you who doesn't like you, and that's just rubbish. And that's where red pill does actually come in quite handy. But apart from that, especially if you dive really deep into the community, they're just a bunch of miserable guys who are just deeply unhappy because some women screwed them over, and now they've all tarred all the women with the same brush, and they've got a very pump and dump mentality. But ultimately, what they really wanted is they wanted a happy relationship. But a lot of them treated their women like mummies instead of women, instead of a romantic partner, and it put them off. It put the women off of them, and then that's why they're seeing all the divorce papers and the split, basically. Right? Obviously, there can be a lot of nuances in that, and not every case is exactly the same. I'm sure there were some demonic women out there that really screwed over a guy. Obviously, those type of things can happen. But ultimately, red pill is just for the miserable men. And if they weren't miserable, they would be happily living their lives and not complaining on the internet about women. And that's the fact. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.